Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And welcome back to Thursday night program to Tafsir al-Quran, to Surat Hud. Quran is our lovely book. We enjoy reading it and understanding it and reflecting on it. And inshallah, this book is going to be your shafi', your intercessor on the Day of Judgment. When you make this book your friend, carry the book with you in the car, at home, you read it, you enjoy it, then this book will stand for you, will intercede on your behalf on the Day of Judgment, inshallah. So tonight we're going to do some reading from Surat Hud, verses 89, 90, and 91, inshallah ta'ala. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أنبياء الله جميعا وعلى سيدهم وخاتمهم حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ويا قوم لا يجرمنكم شقاقي أن يصيبكم مثل ما أصاب قوم نوح أو قوم هود أو قوم صالح وما قوم لوط منكم ببعيد واستغفروا ربكم ثم توبوا إليه إن ربي رحيم ودود. قالوا يا شعيب ما نفقه كثيرا مما تقول وإنا لنراك فينا ضعيفا ولولا رهطك لرجمناك وما أنت علينا بعزيز. صدق الله العلي العظيم. So we are continuing the story of Shu'aib. Shu'aib in English in the Bible is Jethro. And the biblical term Yithrun, in the Hebrew language, Yithrun. However, his tribe apparently was an Arab tribe. There were 4 messengers who were Arabs, and their communities also were Arabs in the Arabian Peninsula and around the Arabian Peninsula. So Shu'aib's community was north of Tabuk in today's Ma'an, the city of Ma'an in Jordan. That was the location of Midian or Midian according to the Torah. And this community was prosperous. Mostly they were farmers, exporting food. Their land was very fertile, very green, very lush. So they were involved in agriculture and also business, trade. They were rich. But unfortunately, some rich people, though they have money, but still they have greed. And some of them, the more money they make, the more greed they develop. And with the greed comes arrogance too, and rejection. So they rejected the message of their leader. Rather than doing a clean business, their business was not clean. They were defrauders. They were dishonest. They would diminish the measure and the scale. وَلَا تَنْقُصُ الْمِكْيَالَ وَالْمِيزَانَ. They were successful businessmen. They had a lot of money. But they could not conduct a clean business. And this is not something old. This is something new too. Some people, they have money. They are successful in their business. But they have to be dishonest. They don't enjoy doing good business, clean business. They don't. That was the case with the people of Shu'aib. Today, some people offer food. They tell you this food is halal, but it turns to be not halal food. Some people, they don't do good business. They don't provide good services. They need their money up front, but when they deliver the service is broken. It's not good service. Some people, they don't give you the goods that you expect. This is not a clean business. And what will happen in this case? In this case, God says maybe you make money, and you make a lot of money out of this fraud, but that money is going to lack barakah and a blessing. You are not going to enjoy that money. If you make small amount of money, but you enjoy it and it has a blessing, it's much more better than making a lot of money, but you are not enjoying your money. God will take, this is the wording of the hadith, if someone is engaged in fraud, diminishing the measure, the scale, the trade, the business, not living up to his responsibilities when he does transactions and trade and business, he would lie, he would, break his promise, he does not deliver on time, or he does not deliver with the same quality which is expected from him or her. God says, you make money, you make a profit, but I would not let you enjoy that money. That money, rather than being source of blessing, is going to be a source of what? Curse. A source of curse. A source of loss. A source of unhappiness. Disstability. This is what we see with many people. They have money, but they are not enjoying their money. They are not enjoying it. We have to teach our children that. We tell them that money is important, but the quality money is important, not any money. So you have to make sure, where do you bring that money from? Where does it come from? Does it come from a lawful source or unlawful source? I have a friend who lives in Korea. He says if you leave this iPhone, if you leave it in the tube, in the subway, nobody is going to touch this. Not because the people of Korea, they follow halal and haram. They don't believe in halal or haram. Many of them are atheists. They don't believe in God. But they believe that if something does not belong to you and you take it, it's going to bring curse into your house, into your life. You're not going to enjoy it. This is true. This is in this book. This book tells me that if you take something that does not belong to you, you don't deserve it, it belongs to others, it is going to bring a curse into your life. So he was telling them that you are doing well in business. Inni arakum bi khair. When you do good, when you have enough income, why do you need to cheat? Why do you need to be dishonest? Because this dishonesty is going to be part of your character, part of your habit. If you keep lying, you can't say, I would lie until the age of 30, then after that, I will switch to truth. You can't. If you keep lying, then it will be a habit. You can't quit. And if you learn to tell the truth and you are honest, also it becomes your habit. So here, he's telling them, وَيَا قَوْمِ لَا يَجْرِمَنَّكُمْ شِقَاقِي. In 89. لَا يَجْرِمَنَّكُمْ شِقَاقِي أن يصيبكم مثل ما أصاب قوم نوح أو قوم هود أو قوم صالح وما قوم لوط منكم ببعيد. O my people. Look at the way he speaks to them. He doesn't say you are my enemies. He says my people, qawmi. You are my family. You are my group. You are my jama'ah, my community. I care for you. وَيَا قَوْمِ لَا يَجْرِمَنَّكُمْ. Your dissension with me, your enmity toward me, should not lead you into sin, such that there should befall you which befell communities before you. قَوْمَ نُوح, the people of Noah, the people of Hud, the people of Salih. وَمَا قَوْمُ لُوطٍ مِنْكُمْ بِبَعِيدٍ. The people of Lut are not far from you. Geographically they are not far, neither in time they were far, because the people of Shu'aib came after the people of Lut. So in terms of time, they were just few years before you, and you know what happened to them. In terms of distance, they are not far from you, in the neighboring area, in the same area. Look what happened to them. What does he mean by saying, let not your dissension with me lead you into sin? Let not your dissension with me, your hate towards me, your enmity toward me, lead you into a sin. What does that mean? We see this in our daily life. It means that sometimes there is a dispute, a conflict, an argument, resentment, anger between the father and the son, between the parents on the one hand and the son, the daughter. So the son, because his parents are good Muslims, but they disagree with him, he quit religion. Or between the husband and the wife. They quarrel between them. So one of them stops praying not because he's angry with God, not because God did something bad to him, because his wife is not caring about him. So he takes it on religion, against religion. My wife is not good with me, so I'm not going to pray. I'm not going to go to the mosque. I'm not going to follow religion because my wife is not good with me. My brother is not good with me. My father is not good with me. You've seen this in your daily life. People fight among themselves and then they stop worshiping. They stop doing good acts. Not because they have a problem with God, but because they have a problem with some. Am I right or not? You see, or with the government, sometimes with the government. Because the government did this to me, I don't like Islam. A mother yesterday was calling me from long distance. She says, my son came to America to study. He quit religion. He says, I'm atheist. Because he was unhappy with his community back home, with his society, with his government. He was unhappy from one of the Arab countries. Because he's unhappy with the government of that country, so he quits religion. Shu'aib is telling his community, don't do that. If you have a problem with me, then let it be with me, not with God. Separate my account from God's account. Okay? Don't take it on God. Blame me. This is what I say to people. When you are angry with someone who says, I am Islam. Okay? When someone says, I represent God. I speak on behalf of God. I speak on behalf of Muhammad. I speak on behalf of Jesus. And then that person disappoints you. Don't quit the church or the mosque or the temple. Say that person is bad. But religion is not bad. That person is corrupt. But religion is not corrupt. So this is what he says. وَمَا قَوْمُ لُوطٍ مِّنْكُمْ بِبَعِيدٍ. There is a point here. We have to reflect on this point. He mentioned other communities as an example, what happened to them, the punishment, the damnation they received, the people of Noah, Hud, Salih, and then he says the people of Lut are very close to you. Remember what happened to them. And there is a point here. There is a reference to a very important point. And that point is that sometimes economic corruption leads into moral corruption too. Economic corruption leads into moral corruption. So not only people lose their money and their businesses when they are involved in doing something bad, okay, then the whole society will pay the price. And then it's going to have not only financial repercussion, it's going to have moral repercussion too. People are going to lose their morality, not just their money, their morality too. And sometimes it leads into social corruption, sexual corruption, when there is financial corruption. When people are corrupt financially, look what they do. In China, they made a lot of money. Amazing how this country within 20 years, you know, I went to China 15 years ago. You could stay at the best hotel for $40 a night. At the best hotel. Now the same hotel will offer the same room for $400 a night. They made a lot of money. But with that money came a lot of corruption too. They built in Macau. In Macau, if you go the old town, which was built by the Portuguese, and the new town. And this new side of Macau rivals Las Vegas. People come in thousands, hundreds of thousands every day to gamble. See, when they make money and they don't know how to handle that money, when people are not wise, when they make money and they are not wise, and they don't have faith in God, and they don't have faith in any principle, they're going to spoil that money. And with that spoilage, they're going to spoil themselves too. Therefore, Islam says, when you make money, be careful. Let not that money take a toll on your soul, on your mind, on your family. Be careful. Money is very dangerous. Some people cannot handle it. They are not qualified. There is a verse in the Quran. God says some people ask for more money. But the verse answers them. The verse says, if God is supposed to make all people rich, they're going to wreak havoc in the land. Sometimes they're going to destroy their societies and their families and themselves too. So he doesn't give money to anyone. He doesn't. Because they don't know how to handle it. And this is what Shu'aib was telling his community. Try to build yourself with this money. You have a strong economy. Try to build, not to destroy. Don't become arrogant. Don't attack each other because of this money. وَمَا قَوْمُ لُوطٍ مِّنْكُمْ بِبَعِيدٍ. So what is the way? What did he say? Did he give them a solution? Yes. Shu'aib was not an expert in economy or business or a trade, but he was an expert in religion, in morality, in ethics, in faith, in connection with God. He said, I'm going to offer you a solution. Don't lose hope. There is always a solution. And the prophets, Anbiya, came to provide us with solutions, practical solutions, something we can do, something doable. So he said to them the following solution. He said, وَاسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ ثُمَّ تُوبُوا إِلَيْهِ إِنَّ رَبِّي رَحِيمٌ وَدُودٌ. If you want to enjoy this life, if you want to have peace of mind, then go back to your Lord. Don't disconnect with your Lord. Going back to your Lord, it means that you live up to your values, to your human values, human principles. Go back to your Lord. وَاسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ. Number one, استغفروا. Seek forgiveness. Forgiveness is not difficult. Forgiveness, a person comes to the Prophet, he committed a very heinous crime. He was young. He came to the Prophet in Medina. He stood at the door of the mosque. He didn't come inside. While he was standing at the door, he said, Ya Rasulullah, I've done a crime that I cannot speak about. Unspeakable. The Prophet said, ذَنْبُكَ أَعْظَمْ أَمِ السَّمَاوَاتِ? Is your crime greater or the heaven? He said, my crime that I committed is bigger and greater than the heaven. ذَنْبُكَ أَعْظَمْ أَمِ الْأَرَضُونَ? He said, my crime is greater than the earth. ذَنْبُكَ أَعْظَمْ أَمِ الْبِحَارِ? The oceans. He said, my crime is bigger than all these oceans. Then the Prophet said to him, ذَنْبُكَ أَعْظَمْ أَمْ رَحْمَةُ اللَّهِ? Is your crime, sin, greater or the mercy of God? Since he was a wise person, otherwise he would not come to the Prophet. He would not bother coming and confessing to the Prophet. He said, بَلْ رَحْمَةُ اللَّهِ Ya Rasulallah. Definitely the mercy of God is bigger. Nothing is larger and bigger in scope than the mercy of God. Allahumma inni as'aluk, we just read this just before the prayers. Allahumma inni as'aluka bi rahmatika allati wasi'at. Look at this foundational sentence. The dua, the whole dua lasts for 30 minutes, but begins with this premise. Powerful premise, very promising premise, very promising. أسألك برحمتك التي وسعت كل شيء. It infuses you with hope. So whatever you did in your life, countless of crimes and sins could be washed away when you go back to God. Could be erased. They drop all the charges against you. Don't you see sometimes some kings and sultans, they have the power, the jurisdiction, the authority to pardon some criminals, to drop all the charges against them. So if a local sultan and king can do that, the king of the kings cannot do that? Definitely he can do. Provided that we go back to God with sincerity, with ikhlas, with a broken hearts, with a resolution that I'm not going to do this crime again. God is willing to forgive the sins of 70 years in 7 minutes. In 7 minutes. God does not reject anyone. Neither he shuts his door. We don't have any story in any religious book, in any scripture that one day God said, I'm angry, frustrated with you, go, I don't want to see your face. We do this to our friends, to our children, to our neighbors, but God does not do that. God is willing to accept. So we have to take this opportunity. And God introduces events for us. Every few days, Laylatul Jum'ah tonight, from sunset until sunrise. He's willing to hear us. He's opening his hearts to hear us, to listen to us, to listen to our stories. We share our stories with him. وَاسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ. This is number 1. Staghfiru. Seek forgiveness from your Lord. Don't share your story with anyone, just with your Lord. Just with your Lord. Go to him. Whatever you did, go to your Lord. The second, ثُمَّ تُوبُوا إِلَيْهِ. And turn into him in repentance. Tubu, tawbah. What does tawbah mean? Simple meaning of tawbah. At-tawbah is what? Awda, going back from where you came. You came from God, but you drifted away from him. Now you go back to him. Tawbah means awda, inaba. وَتُوبُوا وَاسْتَغْفِرُوا رَبَّكُمْ ثُمَّ تُوبُوا إِلَيْهِ. Inna Rabbi, verily my Lord, truly my Lord is Ghafurun, wow, Ghafurun Wadud, Rahimun Wadud, Rahimun Wadud. He's merciful, Rahim, and he's loving. Wadud comes from what? What is the root of Wadud? Mawadda. What is Mawadda? The meaning of Mawadda. Mawadda is deeper and bigger than love. We have hub, we have Mawadda. We have hub, love, you like. But mawadda is a deeper version of it. So mawadda, Allah is mawadda, wadud, sighatu mubalagha. It's a term of exaggeration. Not only one time he is wadud, not second, not third. He's constantly wadud, constantly loving and affectionate. Sometimes we say mothers are loving, but at certain points, mothers are not going to be loving anymore. Believe me. Ask your mother, when you do something stupid, she stops being loving for a few days. Few days, not more. But God is always loving, always. And the norm with God, the norm is mawadda, is forgiveness, is love. The exception is the anger. The anger is exception, not the norm. But the norm is always He's loving, He's caring, He's affectionate. And therefore, we must learn this quality from our Lord. To be caring, to be loving, to be rahim, merciful. Especially parents. I cannot imagine a father, a mother who don't have these two qualities. Being merciful, being loving. If you are not merciful or loving, you cannot raise your children. You lose your children. Teachers, educators, murabbi, the one who is murabbi. A religious scholar should be caring and loving. I cannot imagine a religious scholar who can kill others or order to kill others. I can't. My father was asked at some point in some societies to be a judge. They gave him the offer and they insisted on him. After thinking for 1 week, he could not sleep the night. He tells me he could not sleep the night. Then he went to them. He said, I'm a failure. I can't do this. I'm not designed to be a judge and order to imprison people and punish people and kill people. I'm not. Do you want to call me coward? Call me coward. I can't. I'm not designed for that. My heart, my conscience, my mother did not prepare me for that. Did not. So people have to be merciful and loving. This is the character of God, merciful and loving. Inna Rabbi Rahimun Wadud. Imagine these two things inspires you with a lot of hope in God. If you believe in these two qualities, that God is truly merciful, truly affectionate and loving, definitely you're going to receive His forgiveness on the Day of Judgment. Be hopeful that God is not going to let you down. But we have to do our share too here. We should not fail Him too. We should not fail Him. We should do our best. And then he turns to the last, where I conclude. What was their answer? Look the way he talks to them. But because the stomach is filled with haram. When the stomach is filled with haram, then the heart does not function well. The mind does not function well. They don't understand logic. قالوا يا شعيب ما نفقه كثيرا مما تقول. We don't comprehend much of what you say. Though Shu'aib, if you read his biography, he was very eloquent. He was a good speaker, successful speaker. He was very coherent. He was very elaborate. He was eloquent when he speaks. He can convince people. Yet with all these qualities that he has, they say, we don't comprehend you. ما نفقه كثيرا مما تقول. Why? Because he does not speak the language? He does. He's very elaborate. He's very convincing. But because they don't understand logic, they don't believe in logic, they don't believe in reason. Because the heart is covered with a layer, that layer is of haram, unlawful food. The unlawful food gives you negative energy. Food which is unlawful is not healthy. Gives you negative energy. Some youth ask me, what's the difference between these two sandwiches? Two sandwiches very similar, exactly similar, same ingredients, but one of them halal meat, the other is not halal. I say, don't look at the sandwiches from outside. There is something inside them. The halal one, Allah says in the Quran, the halal one gives you positive energy. When you have positive energy, you do positive things. The unlawful one gives you negative energy. You don't do good things. You feel depressed. You feel down. You don't have energy. This is the difference. This is the difference. I mentioned last week, Friday prayers. This is a study. This is a survey. That American people are the most people in the world who are prone to depression. Why? We don't have roads. We don't have infrastructure. We don't have supermarkets. We don't have electricity. We don't have police department. We have everything. We have everything in this country. Everything comes to your mind, you find it in this country. One thing we don't have. Sometimes we do haram things. We eat haram stuff. And that one will contribute into anxiety, depression, confusion. Confusion. The food, don't look at the food as only has physical nutrition. It has definitely spiritual nutrition too. It has a spiritual effect on your heart and your mind. Be careful with the food that you eat. Be very careful with the food that you give to your family. قالوا يا شعيب ما نفقه كثيرا مما تقول. We don't know what you are talking about. He's very eloquent. He's presenting his case in a very simple way. Any person can understand him except those people. Because they don't believe in logic. ما نفقه كثيرا مما تقول. And then they say to him, وَإِنَّا لَنَرَاكَ فِينَا ضَعِيفًا. And verily, we consider you to be weak among us. You are weak. وَلَوْلَا رَهْطُكَ لَرَجَمْنَكَ. And if it wasn't for your family, you have a family, clan, tribe, we would surely stone you. رَجَمْنَكَ. Because you have a family, we can't do this. In the old days, Arab societies, non-Arab societies, one of the source of strength and dignity was a family. Even today, this is why you have to have good relationship with your family. You can't break away from your family. Some of those kids, they leave the family. He says, I can survive by myself. I can make money. I know you can make money, but you need your mother too. You need your father too. You need your family. You need family support. It's important, family support. Money is not the only source of strength. You need your mother. The only female, the only human being in this universe that can accept you and nurture you and strengthen you, infuses you with power, with energy, is your mother. You can't stay away from your family. I know many people, they left their families because they were arrogant. They were intoxicated with arrogance at some points in their life. They left the house. After 2 years, they had to go back. After 3 years, they had to go back. You can't stay away from your family. This is a theory, psychological theory in the Quran. People are telling Shu'aib, if it wasn't for your family, we would have stoned you and destroyed you. But we can't do because you are surrounded by family. In the old days, it was family. Today, it's a political party. If you belong to a strong political party, even if you are a liar, they put you in the Supreme Court. Don't worry. You can make it. They vote for you. Because you belong to a party. The party is going to vote for you, take care of you. This is life. You have to belong to something. But you know what is the best type of belonging? Is when you belong to God. Is when you consider God as your family. And God is the best family. God is the best friend. Today is the second day of Safar. The family of Imam Hussein arrived into Damascus the first day of Safar, like yesterday. When Imam Hussein was about to go to the battlefield, he had a private meeting with his sister Zainab. Sister Zainab said, I understand that you have to go and you have to fight, you have to defend your religion. But I have one question. I want you to answer this question. Give me peace of mind. Who is going to protect us, women? After you guys, you go, you, Al-Abbas, Ali al-Akbar, Qasim, all those companions. We are going to be left with women and children. This is a big responsibility for me. So who is going to take care of us? The answer of Imam Hussein was very decisive. The answer of the person who has full confidence in God. He said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ حَافِظُكُنَّ وَنَاصِرُكُنَّ وَهَادِيكُنَّ. Verily, God is going to protect you, take care of you, and defend you. When you have God on your side, you don't worry. This is what we learn from religion. People who do not believe in religion, if they lose their mothers, their wives, their fathers, their caretakers, they collapse. But we don't get collapsed. Because we have God. God is above all those people. One day our family members, maybe they desert us, they get tired of us, but God would not be. Strengthen your relationship with God. Be with God always. When you are with God, taking Him as a friend, the closest friend, and always talking to Him. What should we do with a friend? When someone is your friend, you have to speak to that friend. You can't say someone is my intimate friend, but I don't talk to him. The first thing we must do with God is to speak to Him. Informally, when you are by yourself, raise your head. Sometimes you don't have to raise your head. Whisper in your heart. Say to Him, I want you as my friend. I cannot give up on you. I might be ready to give up on everything except you. You are the only real asset I have in this life. One day my mother could say bye to me. My father says, I'm tired of you. My wife says, I don't want you anymore. My son runs away from me. But you don't do that. I know you don't do that. Because you love me, you care about me. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات تابع اللهم بيننا وبينهم بالخيرات إنك مجيب الدعوات إنك غافر الخطيئات إنك ماحي السيئات وجاعلها حسنات. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته. We have this ziyarah trip inshallah in December for the Atabat. If you love to go see Imam Hussein and say salam to him, to his father, to his children, then join us on this trip inshallah. A beautiful trip in December, Christmas time. And inshallah, as Haj Samir mentioned, we provide some food, medicine, clothing, shoes sometimes to the Zuwar. So if you want to contribute and receive the thawab, either see me or Haj Moustafa or Haj Samir inshallah. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات تقبل منا ومن الحاضرين بأحسن القبول من على مرضانا بالشفاء والعافية وعجل في فرج إمامنا ومولانا وسيدنا صاحب العصر والزمان وإلى أرواح المؤمنين والمؤمنات ثواب الفاتحة مع الصلاة على محمد وآل محمد.